Imagine a city built entirely underground. Roads, offices, dormitories, power stations, a hospital, a communications center. All carved beneath a mountain, hidden from the world, and designed to survive even a full-scale nuclear war. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's real. It's called Raven Rock, and for decades, it was one of the United States' best-kept secrets. A place where, in case of total annihilation, the US government would retreat, not just to survive, but to keep functioning while the surface burned. How do we even know this place exists? Who built it? And why is it still active today? This is our weird world, where the strangest stories become reality. If you love these kinds of tales, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and hit the bell. This way you'll be notified whenever new content comes out, and you'll help this channel grow. Now back to the story. Located near Blue Ridge Summit, Pennsylvania, just a few miles from Camp David, Raven Rock Mountain looks like any other piece of forested landscape. But buried deep inside it is a massive, classified facility officially known as Site R. Construction began in 1951, during the height of Cold War paranoia, after President Truman authorized a series of continuity of government measures. The idea? To build a hardened, underground city where key government officials could operate in the event of a Soviet nuclear strike. This wasn't just a shelter. Raven Rock was designed to be a mirror of the Pentagon. A fully functional military command center, capable of surviving a direct hit, and continuing to issue orders across the country. But if it was built in the 50s, why are we only learning about it now? And what else was hidden beneath that mountain? For decades, Raven Rock remained a rumor. Until parts of its existence were accidentally confirmed through declassified military documents and Freedom of Information Act (FOIA) requests in the early 2000s. In 2017, journalist Garrett M. Graff published the book, Raven Rock, the story of the US government's secret plan to save itself, while the rest of us die. His research, based on hundreds of government memos, declassified files, and first-hand interviews, brought Raven Rock into the public eye. Some of the most shocking details came not from top-secret files, but from retired military staff and civilian contractors who had worked at or near the site. One former communications officer, speaking anonymously, described the facility as bigger than anything I'd ever seen underground. It was a small city. Another, a maintenance technician named James Jim Matthews, stated, it had everything. Cafeterias, dorms, power systems, even a chapel. We were told it could run independently for months. But once this information came out, why didn't the government deny it? Instead, they did something even more chilling, they said almost nothing. This isn't the first time the US was caught hiding a Cold War-era bunker. In a previous video on this channel, we explored the Vermont Bunker, a smaller emergency shelter discovered by accident near the US-Canada border by hikers. That bunker had been built to provide short-term protection for local government officials during the nuclear scare. It was small, basic, and abandoned. But Raven Rock? This wasn't a temporary shelter. It was a full-scale operational center, equipped with blast doors, air filtration, multi-level living quarters, and redundant communication systems connected directly to NORAD and the Pentagon. In short, while the Vermont site was a relic, Raven Rock remains functional to this day. And yet, the exact scope of what happens there is still unknown. Which brings up a haunting question: if it's still being maintained, what exactly is it preparing for? Following the release of Graff's book, interest in Raven Rock exploded online. Reddit threads, YouTube documentaries, and underground investigation forums lit up with speculation. Where exactly is the entrance? How deep does it go? Could someone actually get in? While the general location near Waynesboro, Pennsylvania is known, the exact layout remains classified. Multiple entrances are rumored to exist, including one hidden within a quarry road and another behind a fake ranger station. Some urban explorers have claimed to approach the area, only to be turned back by armed military police, no trespassing signs, and heavy surveillance. In 2020, a former truck driver named Chris Taggart gave an interview describing how he once delivered equipment to a sealed freight elevator that led straight into the mountain. He wasn't allowed to step off the truck. They blindfolded me after I parked. I didn't see anything, but I heard the humming. Generators maybe. It felt like a different world. Is it possible that someone has mapped the interior? Or are those just stories to add to the myth? Documents estimate Raven Rock could house 3,000 to 5,000 people for extended periods, possibly up to 6 months. The facility includes independent power supply, diesel and backup generators, massive water tanks and filtration, airlocks and decontamination chambers, command centers connected to NORAD and the President's emergency teams. There's even speculation about rooms designated for civilian VIPs, including media liaisons, selected politicians, and private defense contractors. But here's the disturbing part. There's no plan to save the general population. Raven Rock is part of a system designed to ensure the government survives, not the citizens. If the missiles start falling, and you're not on the list, your survival doesn't matter. Would you even want to survive, knowing you weren't meant to? Here's the question that no one can answer. Why is Raven Rock still operational? Even with the Cold War long over, Site receives regular maintenance, has updated technology, and is included in modern military drills. In fact, during the 9/11 attacks, Vice President Dick Cheney was briefly evacuated to a secure undisclosed location believed by many to have been Raven Rock. Recent satellite imagery shows fresh activity, new vehicles, and what looks like expansion work around the site. Why spend millions maintaining a city underground unless you still expect to use it? What are they preparing for? A cyber war? A nuclear resurgence, something they know? And we don't. We may never know the full extent of what's hidden under Raven Rock. A city beneath a mountain, sealed away from the world, waiting for a moment we hope never comes. But if one day the sirens wail, and the skies begin to burn, some doors will open. Most will stay shut. And Raven Rock will come alive. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more real-world mysteries from our weird world. We uncover what's hidden, so you don't have to.